Okay, so continue with the process here, and one of the things that we're gonna do is modify the tempo to start looking at this walk cycle with a better perception of timing. I think I got these guys already. At least my basic, I'm gonna move it to the side a little bit. I'm gonna go back to maybe the arm a little bit later to have reference, but for now, this give me a good foundation. So I'm gonna click on those three elements that are animated, and I'm going to look at my dope sheet, verify that all of them have keyframes in every one of those 9 frames, and they are. So I'm going to actually modify the tempo here by grabbing and leaving one space in between keyframes. So I'm gonna go grab my move tool here. I'm gonna move over and then grab this one and move over and then grab the next group and move over one frame only. It's up to you how fast you want your walk. I can preview it and see how she looks, and then from that, oh come on, let me do it here. All right, let me grab it. There we go. Sometimes there we go. Sometimes a bit funny the way it selects the rest. And the last one, that. So that makes my sequence from 9 to 17 frames. So when I play that back, I'm gonna say frame 17 here is the maximum. And again, I want to make sure that I'm playing back real time. I'm gonna just play back. So she's pretty fast already there, or a bit too fast. I'm gonna just slow her down since it makes it a bit too. So I'm gonna just add another keyframe in between those. So let me call my dope sheet one more time, and then same thing again. Add another keyframe. This is kind of like a slower walk. I'm pressing my control key to unselect. That seems to be more effective. Right, so that makes it to 25 frames. And probably that's a little bit better for her. And so here comes a bit of a fine-tuning for the walk. Before I spend any more time on anything else, she's had some issues in terms of snapping the leg. You see that when the character goes up, not so much with the left leg, but with the right leg, she snaps. You see how much she snaps there. And even her heel getting off the ground, and I don't want it to be getting off the ground just yet. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to, here the problem is that the snapping is happening because the foot roll and the height of the Y are in a little bit of a, they're both moving, so there's a little bit of a conflict there. So I'm going to go and open up my animation graph editor, and I'm going to look at both controllers. This one is the foot, and I can see my roll doing what it is supposed to be doing. And here is my translate Y for the main controller. So up and down, up and down, up and down. So I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to try to make her come down so she's not snapping in these moments here. She's really too high. So I'm gonna grab all of those keyframes there. I'm gonna bring them down to say maybe I'm gonna go put them to 0. So that, sorry, no, let me undo that. That's not the idea. I need to actually to bring them down to both like that. I don't want to bring just ones to 0. So more like that. So and that way I can preview it. I still see that she's here. You see her legs snapping here back very drastically, so I'm gonna bring her down some more. There you can see how her leg becomes a little more relaxed. So let me play back. It's a little bit better. There is a little bit of a glitch there still, but a little bit better. And the little glitch that is happening is because I'm looking at this angle here, and you see how the angle gets stretched and then it goes down again, and that's because the foot roll is acting is slowing down a little bit. So I'm gonna click on the roll here, and you can see my foot roll going up. So because she's been stretched, the roll could be a little bit, I don't think it's say more, but her leg is being pushed here in this position. It's getting pushed a bit much, and then it kind of widens and then it stretches one more time here. So I'm trying to get a good sense of it. There is between the issue is between the roll and the way the leg is being stretched. Other option that I have is to say, well, maybe she can rotate a little bit more to give a bit more room to the leg to stay behind. So if that is the rotation in Y, you see my rotation in Y is doing that. So I can get her to say she is going in -12 here, and that I bet is positive 12. So I can let her be a bit more exaggerated. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to get rid of these keyframes in the middle here so that I can modify easily. Actually, I'm going to get rid of these ones too, just for rotating Y. I'm going to make her move here to let's say 15 and then -15 on these guys. By removing the keyframes in the middle, I allowed her to be a bit more relaxed. So by doing this, because her body is a bit more rotated, you see her leg is not snapping that heavily. There might be a little bit of a shake in the knee still, but it's a little bit better. Okay, so let me just play back. It's a little bit better, and if I look at her torso, I think she has a little bit more room to rotate, so that it help her more. Let me just try one more time. Rotation and animation graph editor, and then again that's going to be rotating Y. When I make this one rotate 18 positive, and then rotate 18 negative. That way I can try to see her. So that makes her a bit more relaxed. Another trick that I can do for that leg snapping, as you see that my foot is releasing the roll very late. So I could try letting the roll be a bit earlier. So let me try doing that one. And of course, they're gonna have to be on every foot, right? So when the foot is releasing, in this case, it will be from letting it release a little bit earlier here in frame 7. I'm going to talk about roll here. That means I can let this foot move it to frame 6, say for example, so that the roll releases a little bit earlier. Sorry, I click on the wrong controller. Let me just fix that. It has to be from here. Actually, this one is correct. And I'm going to actually do the roll when the foot is going in this position. So let me do it on the other foot first, on this one. So I'm trying to correct this moment by letting the keyframe be the roll to be released a tiny bit earlier. So my roll is changing 1 frame earlier, so I'm going to allow to move the roll back 1 frame earlier. So the foot start bending a little bit earlier, so that way I control the bending thing. I'm going to do it on this one also. So I'm going to do it here. When it's about to start rolling up, I'm going to let the roll go 1 frame earlier. Just 1 frame. That helps the foot release a little bit better. That's a little bit better there. So I can go continue with those attributes to help her knee shake a bit less. All right. I'm gonna stop it there for now. Let's increment and save my file.